Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. My name is Barry Hudson. I'm the Communications Manager for the County Executive's Office. We'd like to have the County Executive come out and give a statement about the recent news about the fixing of the valve that caused the residents of Prince George's County to not have to go without water. So without further ado, I'd like to call up County Executive Rushern Baker.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to, how's everyone doing today? I'm going to read a brief statement and then we'll take questions. As you know, WSSC just held a press conference, announced that the South County residents will not lose water due to the replacement of the 54-inch concrete pipe that was failing. This announcement comes as a result of some amazing work done by committed WSSC workers who got the valve to work that enabled residents to go without a break in their service. The commitment and effort of so many in this county and region are why we're able to make it through this very difficult last couple of days. And for the 150,000 residents that the county lived in the affected area, were able to make it through. I want to thank the people of Prince George's County for their patience, understanding, and chipping in and being good neighbors and adhering to the restriction and the conservation of the water during this crisis. We have some very great neighbors in this region that helped us through. I want to thank our regional partners and state partners and all the dedicated employees of the county for the hours of work they put in to ensure that the residents are safe and secure. Although we appear to be out of the woods, we are still under a mandatory water restriction for the impacted areas. Residents are advised to utilize water only necessary basis, take short showers, turn off the faucets after washing their hands, and postpone washing clothes and dishes until we're out of the woods completely. We continue to conserve water in this effort. WSSC is confident that the system will remain fully operational while repairs are being completed and the pipe returns to service. As a precaution, Prince George's County will continue to open this emergency management office, have it operational and standing up during this shortage and until 9 p.m. tonight. The great news, and this is great news for us, and we realize that this event had a significant impact on our economy. People were inconvenienced, businesses lost money, but we were prepared for this. We did make it through, and we're looking forward to the repairs being done. The silver lining for me this week is that the thousands of citizens and businesses and stakeholders who volunteered and helped us out during this crisis. I particularly want to thank a couple of businesses and folks who chipped in to make sure that our residents had water. Certainly Giant Food, Coca-Cola, Bob Hall Distributors, the Maryland Emergency Management Agency, Walmart, the Peterson Company, CBS Radio, Safeway, Pepsi-Cola, Food and Friends, Salvation Army, the American Red Cross, the National Guard, Governor O'Malley and the Lieutenant Governor, and the Washington Redskins organization. They were just a few of the individuals and companies that came together during this period in Prince George's County to help us make through this crisis. This is something that has not happened in the region before, where you actually would lose water. So the good news is that it looks like we're not going to lose any water. Residents will be able to continue. Businesses can open back up. Like I said in the statement, and like they said in WSSC, we want people to conserve water until the repairs to the pipe is complete. I had the opportunity yesterday to go by and to watch the men and women at WSSC work on the pipe. I want to commend them for working around the clock in this heat and getting us to the point where we are today. With that, I will take any questions you might have.
Mr. Baker,
Thank you.
24 hours ago, we thought there was no hope. When did you become aware there was an alternative source of water that could go around that affected area?
We actually became aware this morning that there was another alternative. We were in the same position as all of you, that we would have made the same precautions even if I had known this yesterday. But certainly this morning is when I found out there's a possibility that they could repair this valve and we would not lose water.
Shouldn't WSSC have known about this
You know, one of the things I said yesterday in the press conference was we want to get through this crisis. And after the crisis, we're going to ask some very tough questions. And certainly those are the questions we're going to ask of WSSC. Certainly I want to sit down with my counterpart in Montgomery County, Ike Leggett. But we want to ask not only about the valve that they had to repair, but are there any other valves around in Prince George's County or the affected area that we need to look at? So certainly we're going to have a long discussion with WSSC around the pipes and where we are. I tell them, are they sure they're going to be able to, that we're close to being out of the woods? How long is it going to take them to repair this? And should we ask residents to conserve water, which they said that we should? So we will begin to, once we're out of this period when it's fixed, and we know that residents don't have any worry in terms of the water coming through, and then we're going to have a very serious discussion about this issue.
Have you expressed any displeasure to WSSC at this point?
What I've told them is once we get out of this crisis, we're going to have a very long and lengthy discussion about you know, where we are in terms of Prince George's County. How can we make sure that this doesn't happen again? And how can we make sure that residents know that there are all, especially businesses and individuals who bought water, know that there are other options out there?
Speaking up until just, I guess, this morning, we were under the impression that a whole section of this county was fed by one water line. How concerned are you that there may be spots where the disruption of one line affects tens of thousands of people?
You know, very concerned. As I said yesterday, I was frustrated. Residents are frustrated. But the main thing, and I have to do as county executive, make sure we get through this period, and then ask those questions. You know, where are there other potential areas that we need to make sure not only do we have the ability to divert water, but are we making sure that those valves, you know, are repaired, and that we're, especially in high density areas like we saw in the county. There was a big swath of areas. So this is a very serious thing. We're going to have a conversation about it.
Did anybody take advantage of the shower centers and what have you this morning? As far as
My understanding is that we did have people come into the cooling centers, into the areas to get water. I'm not sure how many people actually took advantage of the showers. I'm sure we did have some people to do that because we asked businesses and we asked residents to conserve that water. We knew a lot would get up this morning and take showers, and they would probably run out if we hadn't been able to fix this valve. They would run out somewhere around the afternoon, so I'm sure folks came and took advantage of it.
Have they told you how much longer the restriction will be in place?
My understanding is until the pipe is actually fixed. They're working on that around the clock, and as I said, I've observed the men and women of WSSC who are actually on the ground working, and they're working very hard and very diligently. We want to make sure that we're completely out of the woods, and then after that, we're going to make sure that the residents of Prince George's County or any of the affected areas for WSSC don't have to go through this type of situation again.
Was yesterday handled the way you would have liked it with what the message they put out, and looking at it now 24 hours later, that was pretty serious what was put out yesterday?
No, it's a serious situation, so I think alerting citizens that they need to take precautions. We would do that anyway, but certainly I want to make sure that we have all the options available to us when I announce it. So that's part of the conversation we'll have with WSSC. I want to see when they first knew about this other option, how soon they were able to tell us other than this morning, and how can we make sure that we have all the information we need when we make an announcement.
you said you were prepared. Were you aware before yesterday that there were some parts of the county that might only be fed, large parts of the county, by one water main, that if there was disruption, that many people could potentially be out?
Yeah, there's two questions. One, we knew that there were parts of the county that were fed by a main line. But what we thought, as happened in Montgomery County when they had water main breaks before, there's a diversion where the water could go out or come in. So not being able to do that, we were unaware. And certainly we weren't aware of that until this morning.
But they were aware of it Monday night when they first talked to you, right?
I think they were aware of it Monday night. They made us aware this morning.
Do you know when they were first aware?
That's part of the questions we're gonna ask. I know there was a press conference today, but it's not just a question. I want to emphasize this. One, we want to thank the men and women of WSSC for doing a great job. The other thing is the county executive of Montgomery County and I have to have a discussion about how we're getting information from WSSC, how our commissioners are getting information from WSSC, and how that is relayed back to me. Because I'm sure tomorrow morning I'm going to get a lot of questions about how many businesses lost money and how many residents spent money. With that, thank you very much.